Imagine a person who does not just have one job. They do not have one single passion. Instead, their mind is like a garden with many different kinds of plants. This person is a modern polymath. A polymath is simply someone who knows a lot about many different things. They are not specialists in just one area. They are generalists. They love to learn. Their curiosity pulls them in many directions. They might be a musician in the morning, a computer programmer in the afternoon, and a cook in the evening. This is not because they cannot decide. It is because they see connections everywhere. They believe that learning in one area helps them understand another. This way of living is not new. Think of Leonardo da Vinci. He was a brilliant painter, but he was also an inventor, a scientist, and a writer. He studied the flight of birds to understand how a flying machine might work. He studied human bodies to make his paintings more realistic. This is the heart of being a polymath. It is about taking ideas from different fields. You mix them together to create something new. In a world that often tells us to pick one thing and stick to it, the polymath chooses a different path. They choose to explore everything that sparks their interest. Their journey is not about becoming the best in the world at one single skill. Instead, it is about building a wide range of skills. This wide range gives them a unique perspective. They can look at a problem from many angles. A person who only knows about engineering will see an engineering solution. But a polymath might see an engineering solution, a psychological one, and a creative one. They have a bigger toolbox. This allows them to be more flexible and more creative when faced with a challenge. Their strength comes from their breadth of knowledge, not just their depth in a single subject. Today's world is changing quickly. The problems we face are complex. They are not simple single-subject problems. A modern polymath is well suited for this world. They are lifelong learners. They are comfortable with not knowing everything. This makes them good at adapting. They enjoy the process of learning itself. They do not just learn to get a job or finish a project. They learn because they are truly curious about the world around them. This endless curiosity is what fuels their journey and makes their life rich and interesting. The day for our modern polymath, let's call him Alex, begins not with an alarm but with a question. The sun streams through his window as he sits with a cup of tea. He is not checking work emails. Instead, he is learning a new language on his tablet. He spends 30 minutes practicing Spanish. He finds joy in how different languages structure ideas. He notices how some words in Spanish are similar to words in French, a language he learned last year. This small connection makes his mind light up. It is a small discovery, but it sets the tone for his day. A day of finding links between different worlds. After his language practice, Alex moves to his piano. He is not a professional musician. He does not dream of playing in a grand concert hall. He plays for himself. He is currently learning a piece by a classical composer, but he tries to play it with a jazz rhythm. He is experimenting. He wants to see how the rules of one musical style can be bent by the rules of another. This is not just about playing notes. It is about understanding systems. It is about seeing how patterns and structures work. This musical exploration helps him think more creatively later in the day. Next, Alex turns to his sketchbook. He is not trying to create a masterpiece. He is simply observing the world around him. He might sketch the way the leaves on his houseplant catch the light. Or he might try to draw a diagram of a bicycle gear system he was thinking about yesterday. This practice of drawing helps him see things more clearly. It forces him to pay attention to details he might otherwise miss. For Alex, drawing is a tool for thinking. It helps him translate abstract ideas into concrete images, making them easier to understand and remember. Before he starts his main work for the day, Alex spends a few minutes reading. He does not read just one book at a time. He has several on the go. One might be about ancient history, another about artificial intelligence, and a third a collection of poetry. He reads what he is curious about in that moment. He finds that an idea from the history book might spark a new thought about the future of technology. His morning is a warm-up for his brain. It is a time for slow, deliberate learning across different domains, filling his mind with raw material for the day ahead. The afternoon is when Alex brings his different interests together. His main work is as a freelance web developer, a job that requires logic and precision. He enjoys building clean, efficient code, but today he is working on a website for a local bakery. The client wants the website to feel warm and friendly. A pure programmer might focus only on the function, but Alex thinks about the feeling. He remembers the color palettes he studied in an online art course. He uses warm, inviting colors that remind him of freshly baked bread. His knowledge of art makes his technical work better. Later, he takes a break from the screen. He heads into his small workshop in the garage. He is building a wooden bookshelf. Woodworking is a very different skill from coding. It is physical, it requires patience and a feel for the material. As he measures and cuts the wood, his mind is still working on the website problem. The physical act of building something tangible helps him think through abstract problems. He realizes the structure of the bookshelf, strong supports, well-placed shelves, is a lot like the structure of a good website. Everything needs its proper place to work well. Suddenly, he faces a challenge. The bakery client sent over some new photos for the website, but they are poorly lit. Alex could tell the client to hire a professional photographer. That would be the simple solution. But Alex remembers a photography course he took a few years ago. He opens up a photo editing software. Using his knowledge of light and shadow, he carefully adjusts the images. He brightens them up, corrects the colors, and makes the pastries look delicious. He has just saved his client time and money by using a skill from a completely different field. This is the polymath's advantage in action. The afternoon is not a series of separate tasks. It is a dance between different skills. Coding, art, woodworking, and photography all blend together. Alex does not see them as separate boxes. He sees them as different tools in the same toolbox. This ability to switch between analytical thinking and creative problem-solving makes his work more effective and more enjoyable. He is not just completing tasks, he is connecting ideas and creating value in unexpected ways. As evening settles in, Alex faces a common challenge for any polymath, the feeling of being spread too thin. He looks at his half-finished bookshelf, the complex coding project, and the list of books he wants to read. Sometimes he worries he is a master of none. Society often celebrates the specialist, the person who goes deep into one area. He sometimes wonders if he should have just picked one thing and become an expert. This doubt is a natural part of the generalist's path. It is the fear that breadth comes at the expense of depth. However, this feeling usually fades when he starts his evening activity cooking dinner. Tonight he is trying to recreate a dish he read about in his history book, but with a modern twist. He uses his knowledge of chemistry, learned from a science podcast, to understand why certain ingredients react the way they do. He thinks about presentation, using the principles of composition he learned from his sketching. Cooking becomes an act of synthesis. It brings together history, science, and art onto a single plate. It is a delicious reminder that combining knowledge creates something wonderful. Later, he relaxes by watching a documentary. It is about urban planning. As he watches, his mind makes connections. The flow of traffic in a city reminds him of the flow of data in a network. The design of public parks makes him think about user experience on a website. The social dynamics of a neighborhood remind him of the themes in a novel he read. For a polymath, nothing is ever just one thing. Everything is connected to everything else. This web of knowledge makes the world a richer, more fascinating place. Ultimately, being a polymath brings Alex immense joy. His life is a constant adventure of learning and discovery. He solves problems by drawing on his wide range of experiences. This makes him a better problem solver and a more creative person. But more importantly, it makes him happy. He is not defined by a single job title. He is defined by his curiosity. The joy is in the journey itself, the process of learning, connecting, and growing. For the modern polymath, a life filled with many interests is not a distraction. It is the whole point.